that's fine. And not to downplay people who have, like, but to say that mental illness is not the same as physical illness is just completely wrong. And yeah, someone, I'm not going to mention his name, but someone told me, mentioned that they had PTSD, but they learned to live with it. Okay, that's fine. And not to downplay people who have PTSD, because I understand PTSD is a serious thing too. People with PTSDs do suffer. I admit that. But the fact that you learn to live with it, that tells me that it wasn't a debilitating disease. Whereas people with bipolar and schizophrenia, those mental illnesses are progressive. That means they get.
Well, without getting too far into the case or whatever, I am the person who has PTSD. And it in fact is debilitating, and I'll tell you how. Maybe not in the same sense that depression or bipolar or anything like that, or schizophrenia or whatever. But the fact that I can't go to a public place without thinking who's going to hurt me. And it's not paranoia, it's because of the crime that I witnessed that caused the PTSD. But I'm constantly head on a swivel. And that does take a very, very huge effect on you, okay? Real talk, guys. This is not my normal thing here, but it does take a very, very long and harsh effect on you. Yeah. I'm just saying it may not be the same thing, but it's right up there as far as I'm concerned.
Worse. Yeah, sure. You can take medication, it'll stabilize you, and it'll slow down the process, but it doesn't mean it's not gonna get worse. It just pretty much slow down the process. And as long as you stay on your medication, you can live till like you're 60, 70 years old, and you'll still be somewhat stable and clear-headed. But if you go off your medication, which bipolar people tend to do, because they think everything's fine, and then they start taking their medication, and that's when things spiral out of control. Yeah, and I admit, I've done that myself. Like, I took medication, and I thought, like, I was stable, and I'll think, okay, I'm stable, I'm fine, I don't need to take medication anymore. And then I'll start taking my medication, and things will get out of control, and I lose my job. I lost a bunch of jobs because of my mental illness, and I'm not proud to say that. And the thing is, but when you have mental illness that's serious like that, it's not just a matter of, just managing to live your life with it. Like, I used to think that I could learn to just manage my life with my bipolar disorder and that I didn't need medication. And it didn't get me anywhere, honestly. It caused me to lose, like, the woman of my dreams, the woman that was pretty much everything I've ever wanted, and it caused me to lose her. Like, it separated me from her, my mental illness. My mental illness caused me to lose tons of jobs. I had a ton of jobs that were great jobs, and because of my mental illness, I lost them. And it makes sense because employers don't understand mental illness. Most of them don't. And when they hire you, they don't expect you to flip out or do anything crazy. They expect you to, like, just work hard and pretty much do your job correctly, and then go home, and then you get paid for doing your job. That's what the employer thinks. But when you flip out and you do crazy things, it catches them by surprise, and they don't want to deal with that because it's bad for business. So they'll fire you, and they'll hire someone who is more in their right mind. And yeah, so it's.
Well, I want to stop you there and say that I don't think that just applies to mental illness. That applies to anybody. We live in a capitalist country. Capitalist economy, obviously, that's just big business. That's not because you're mentally ill, unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. That's just big business.
It's pretty shitty if you have mental illness, I admit that. And honestly, like, I mean, I want to work, but also I know that I can't keep a job. So, therefore, because of my mental illness, that's why I collect SSI. But, it's just a safety net, though, because once I get it, I'm going to go on this Ticket to Work program, and I will work. But to say that mental illness...
For starters, I want to make sure, for starters, I'm fucking into part 2 already of this video. I wanted to make sure that you knew that I wasn't saying... I did make a comment to him, everybody, about working and stuff. David, I wasn't trying to say to you that I feel like you don't want to work. I'm just saying patterns of complacency and laziness will develop if you don't make yourself go and do something in the time that you have off, is what I was saying.
Illness is not the same as physical illness. If you're one of those people who say that equate that don't really believe mental illness exists.
I'm not for sure or convinced that there are people that don't believe mental illness exists. I am one of the people that believes that I think we live in a society that likes to prescribe stuff and diagnose stuff for big pharmacy, but I would never deny that mental illnesses do not exist.
And that it's just all in your head. Well, you're freaking ignorant. You don't really understand mental illness, and you just need to shut the hell up. Honestly, that's what I gotta say about that. If you're one of those people, I'll say it again, if you're one of those people who don't really believe that mental illness is real, or it's not as bad as physical illness, or a physical disease,
physical ailment,
or something, or like, I don't know what the word is I'm thinking of, but if you don't think it's
ailment,
same thing, or possibly even worse, then you're freaking ignorant, and you need to shut the hell up and not talk about things that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because honestly, I can think of a million different things, well, not a million, but I can think of a bunch of different ways mental illness can be worse than a physical disaster, or physical injury. Like, quite frankly, I would rather have my leg cut off, my leg amputated, than to hear voices and hallucinate all the time. Or I'd rather have my hands cut off than go into a manic episode and not know what the hell I'm doing, or to get severely depressed to the point where I'm suicidal. Like, honestly, so I would say that there are cases where I'd rather deal with diabetes than have to deal with bipolar disorder or even schizophrenia. Like, so there are cases where mental illness can be more debilitating than a physical injury or physical illness. And yeah, I said it. I mean, I'm not saying that to downplay people with physical illnesses or physical diseases or injuries. I'm not saying that to downplay them. I mean, I know that they have their own struggle. They have their own, they have their own issues. I get that. I'm just focusing on those people who don't think mental illness is the same thing or even worse than physical.
I've never heard of anybody with that mind frame, but maybe you have. And I would agree with you that if there is someone of that mind frame, which there probably is, they're completely wrong. Totally wrong.
Like, people who, in 2016, it's amazing that there's still people out there who are ignorant of mental illness. And it's because
there's people out there who are racist still. The fact is, undesirable people are always going to exist. You can't do anything about that.
It's not a really big talked about subject. I get that.
It is gaining more publicity, though. It is doing that. But yeah, more awareness does need to be brought to it.
It's still taboo in today's culture. Even though it's 2016, mental illness...
It's not really taboo. People know it exists.
illness is not talked about, and I think that's wrong. And I'm here to make people more aware that no, we are out there. Mental illness does exist, and it needs to be discussed. It needs to be talked about, and we need to do more to help people with mental illness. We need to raise more awareness, and we need to stop trying to skirt around the issue and not talk about it. Alright, that's all I have to say about the subject. By the way, I'm filming this in Starbucks. I'm not saying where, but yeah, that's why if you hear a lot of background noise, that's why. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Have a good day, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe below. Now, I would really like to know what your guys' thoughts are on this subject, so please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Alright, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, deuces.
Alright, everybody. I don't have time to respond in a final thoughts part of this, and this part, I'm going to upload this part. Stay tuned for part 3. Peace, sub, like, and comment below. Later. Deuces.